Thank you, Matt and Eva. Yes, a big win for Canada, 4-0 here over Paraguay. These are two teams, their first 6-0 over El Salvador that they were expected to beat and dominate. I believe I started my post game after El Salvador saying the exact same thing, but the point is to say they're right on track. What did you make of Canada's performance?
Goal, 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 goal. We love it. I thought that Canada today, this afternoon, grew into the match. Bit by bit. It's hard to break down a team like Paraguay who had 6 in the back, but got a bit of fortune, but you got to still be there for those opportunities. Leon, the first goal, you have to take that on the volley, you have to score those, and then you can grow into the game and gain confidence. So I think overall it was a great match for Canada today.
Yeah, and we saw those partnerships that we spoke about so much in the first matchup against El Salvador really come alive in that second half. They were doing a much better job breaking them down on the flank play. So, yeah, I thought overall Canada had a good game.
Remember, when the teams do move on, the top 8, it gets reseeded when it heads into the knockout. So, yes, wins matter, goals also matter. And given the performance by Canada here tonight, they actually leapfrog over the United States, who had +9 before this match here. Canada now moves to +10. So they're actually topping right now the 8 teams who would be moving on. That looks good, that's for sure. You know what else looked good? The Gatorade performance of the match. That was Adriana Leon, who picks up a hat trick. She scored 2 goals in that first game. That's 5 goals in the last 2. What did you make of her performance, Jess?
I mean, this was so well deserved. She was everywhere tonight. She was able to be electric in and around that 18. Every time that ball hit her foot, she was making something happen. Whether it was through her movements and she was helping her teammates out, or just, again, when the ball was at her foot, she was finishing.
Productivity, right? Productivity.
I didn't say it.
Productivity. No, she's productive, right? I think also, too, with Adriana Leon, what you're finding, so when she's striking the ball, striking it with confidence. And I can always get behind a player who does that, right? When you're around the box, you're not just, hoping to shoot. You're shooting with the intent to score, and that's what she's doing all 3 goals.
I was going to say, we're making you one of the girls here. We're making Jordan one of the girls. But this is the thing with Adriana Leon. She now, with those 2 goals, moves into 36. So before, she had 34, which tied her with Cara Lang for 5th all-time. Now she's tied with Janine Becky for 4th all-time. So, you know, again, just kind of climbing up that ladder. Just a few more 100 games to play, and she'll be right where Christine Sinclair. I couldn't even finish that sentence with a straight face. That's how bad that was. But yes, either way, she's still moving up. She is still looking fantastic. We'll talk more about her a little later on in the show, just what she's been doing on the professional side as well, that's translating to the national side. But as we get to our all-state save of the match, this is Recalde of Paraguay. This was a Lawrence Cross. Fleming getting on this one, and she was coming up with some big saves. I mean, this could have been a lot bigger of a score, Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely, but athletic save as well. But kudos to the keeper, because she was in it for the whole match. Big saves, this one pushed as well. And then Jessie Fleming's probably going to want that one back, just with that left foot. But
yeah, absolutely. I thought she was going to get over that one, but, I mean, again, kudos to the keeper. That was a great save.
She's going to want that PK back, although when does she ever miss?
We were over here betting that she was going to go low corner.
Although when she was walking off the pitch, maybe we just need a little close-up. I thought I spied with my little eye a little black eye.
Wow, that's a lot of rhymes.
That was I did not mean for that to happen.
Dr. Seuss over here?
Either way, her team's walking away with the 4-0 victory. Job done here once again against Paraguay. But as mentioned, let's break down Adriana Leon just a little bit more and how her professional game has been up and down and seems to have finally settled.
CanadaSoccerStore.com is the official home for the widest range of Canada Soccer licensed product, match jerseys, and fanwear.
Welcome back. Matchday Live presented by CIBC. Here are your full-time stats. 4-0. Canada defeats Paraguay. 3 of those goals coming off the boot of Adriana Leon. Let's hear what she had to say post-game.
Yeah, I thought the team played really well. Nice to get some goals in. I thought we were clinical in the final third, and we moved the ball really well, so it was a good performance from us.
Another multiple goal for you. 3 goals tonight. Can you talk about or describe how the goals were?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it was just clinical in the final third. Took my chances. Happy to score 3 goals, and yeah.
How can you see about the tournament? You play in the very high level in another country, in another continent. So how can you describe the level of this tournament up to now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a bit difficult coming in because, a few of us were coming from Europe, so there's a big time change. But I feel like we've settled in quite well in the last couple of days, and hopefully we'll just grow throughout the tournament and keep putting out performances like that.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
We're playing another leg.
Speaking of Europe, have a look at how things have played out for Adriana Leon in the last few years. I mean, she did get a lot of minutes with West Ham. Very excited to see her make that move to Manchester United. It did not pan out. She went on loan to Portland. That also did not work. And then this is the season she joined Aston Villa, and you're seeing those minutes go up again. And even though her minutes were kind of floundering a little bit on the pro side there the last couple years, she was still scoring goals with Canada. But there is a different confidence, even though she kind of smirked and felt a little bit uncomfortable talking about herself getting that hat trick. Are you noticing a swagger?
Yeah, absolutely. She looks confident every time she gets that ball. And to be able to take the shots she's been taking, that takes a lot of confidence. So it's great to see her really come out of her shell. And she continues to be great, every matchup. You see her first goal here, her recognition to be able to come inside when she realizes Deanne is going outside, and then once again to just drift there into the middle. But her finish here is ultimately what really makes this goal. Her ability to hit that out of the air, that side volley, that is not an easy task.
Not at all. That's technique, but more importantly, that's confidence, right? And Andy, you bring up a great point because that consistency with club and just playing against good competition week in and week out. Then you come into Canada and you come into that camp knowing that as long as you're playing, you know that you're going to score. And this is what you see. She's making those runs and getting into those areas. So the next bit is just being calm and composed in front of goal. And because she's playing all the time, she knows that she can execute. And there's that feeling, Jess, you know that as well, being an offensive player, is that there's a rhythm and a feel to a game where you just feel like, you know what, I'm scoring.
I'm on today.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
that's it. And that's how she's approaching it, and it's beautiful to see.
Even heading into the World Cup, we were still talking about her either being a starter or a bench player. I think it's absolutely crazy now to think that she wouldn't be starting. Let's take a look at her hat trick goal here and what you liked about that.
Yeah, I think this is a great team goal as well. Like, there's a lot to point out, but for me, Andy, I just got to ask you a question. Just pause it right there. What is a shape that has 3 sides?
Is that a triangle?
It is a triangle, Andy Petrillo. You can't see Ashley Lawrence at the top of the screen there, but this is a triangle, right? Going in and going out. I love it. Grassroots. So Jade Rose, as we play it through, plays Adriana Leon, right? Takes a touch, boom. Plays Ashley Lawrence. Again, Andy Petrillo. What has 3 sides again?
Okay, so we're still on triangle.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So what is it?
Triangle.
Yeah, okay, then you see another triangle right here. Boom.
Stop asking
I
me
like
questions.
it. I won't ask you anymore. Ashley Lawrence right here gets the ball, but it's Leon as well in that pocket as we play it through. Beautiful triangles that you want to see. And then the last triangle, this one's money. Pause it right there. Boom. That's what we want to see. You cannot defend that. Adriana Leon is getting into the box, but she started it way up here and ends up going to the box. This is confidence. Someone free-flowing, knows what they want to do. And then now this is my favorite part, because this is where you get the money, the moolah. Takes the touch with the left foot. Boom. 4-0, Jess Lisi.
Yeah, I mean, Adriana Leon really created her own fate here. She was able to come off the front and able to combine all the way in there. And to be able to finish that the way she did, this is a solid strike again, and that is confidence, because that's not an easy angle as well. We keep talking about her confidence, but really that one shows it. Like, I'm not sure. Many people might have crossed that across the box to be able to, give it off to someone else. But for her to be like, you know what? This is mine. I'm finishing it. And I think one thing that goal really highlights is, again, the partnerships that we've been, honing in on that right flank. She realized Ashley Lawrence was wide. She wanted to drop into that space in the middle, get the ball, combine, and Ashley Lawrence did what she does best, and she was able to find someone in Laracy who did a great job at playing that one-touch ball.
As long as you don't ask me the angle of that diagonal shot, like this guy's asking me to name shapes, I'm good.
What was the angle of it?
Yeah, 45 degree, almost 90. There you go. Let's take a look at the tournament goal leaders, the Golden Boot leader. So right now, she's running away with this one, Adriana Leon with 5, and you can see 6 players right now tied with 2 goals apiece. And at the end of that interview, she said, yes, European players coming on over, taking some time, easing in. She's been hitting the ground running, that's for sure. Someone else who's done just that as well, Olivia Smith, 19 years of age, 6th cap for Canada. First start, plies her trade in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon. 6 goals in 12 games for her there. She picked up her first goal in that game against El Salvador. And in this start, she shows up on the score sheet as well. And that was a wicked shot.
Yeah, it was. She packs a punch. There's power within her shot. Loves to strike it. Obviously, speaking of Bev Priestman, you know Olivia Smith needs to develop and get acclimated with this team. But I hope that she continues to get acclimated while she's scoring, because there's a difference, Jess. It's just you see her getting in the pocket, that little slip pass there, if there was a little bit less on it, but you could see the good intent, but start to grow into the game. And this is probably the time where it starts to turn. Right here, picks it up 23 yards out, doesn't look to pass, has it, good strike on the ball. And this one, my favorite, because this is just a good team goal, Sheridan playing it out, right? Able to get forward. Deanne Rose, we said, needs to play that vertical, be that vertical player. And she does that so well, gets a shot, and just knowing where to be, right? That is something you can't teach. Just that sense to go out and kill and get that strike on goal. It was a top performance from her as well today.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say she keeps putting herself in the perfect positions to get the ball. I mean, I just said it in a different way. But, you know, she continues to put herself in the right positions. She wants the ball. She looks hungry. She's not afraid. She doesn't look like a young player out there who's like, no, don't play me the ball. I don't want to take a shot from 22 yards out. She's like, give me the ball. I'm going to bury this. And if she continues to do that, she's only going to get better, because we have seen the greatness already in her. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how she grows.
If Bev really wants to test that conditioning, this is what it's like to be with the team in these tournaments that are short, where you just have games. A few days later, they'll be playing again on Wednesday. Do they start her again?
Ooh, $1 million question. I say yes. I say player. I would love to see her down the 9, but at the center forward position, but I understand there's Viennes, there's Rose, there's a lot of players that maybe are ahead of her in that position right now. But yeah, play on that wing, because she came in, and you mentioned when we were watching the game, Jess, just into a pocket. She knows when to get it, and she's not afraid to turn and then create. If she can make some better decisions, it'll be phenomenal. But I think start her and really test her.
There is a fluid movement, though, amongst the front three, which makes it a little easier for her to come in. So I think although she would be great in the 9, she's at least able to put herself in that position in the center of the field, because that is where she shines. I agree with you. I don't think necessarily the flank is her best role, because I think you want her in front of the net to be able to strike it at all times.
Yeah, just a reminder, Nichelle Prince, it's been confirmed with her calf injury. She's out for the rest of the tournament. I just don't know how you take a player out who scored in back-to-back games. And Leon's also looked great. Like, they've just already in 2 games, there's a synergy there. So I just don't know how you take them out, right? Given what she's already been able to do.
Yeah, no, Andy, you bring up a great point, right? Because there's momentum. If someone's scoring, why take them off and put them on the bench, ice them a bit? Canada need goals, right? For a long time, they've struggled to score, and they need to score by committee. But if you have a Leon and a Smith that are able to score, play them.
Problem solved.
It's also a nice thing, that she's young and she wants that confidence. When you're a youngster and you're up there, you might have a bit of imposter syndrome. She doesn't look like she does. Mm-hmm. But at times, you think, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to play. Do I deserve to be here type thing? She obviously does. But I think that Bev continuously playing her is going to prove to her, I am doing great. I do deserve to be here. So it would be cool to see her start that next matchup.
She's 19. She's not taking an ice bath like some of her other teammates, okay? She can go again on Wednesday because she's 19. You know who else needs a lot of goals? Cavalry's going to need a lot of goals on Tuesday. This is going to be leg 2 of Concacaf Champions Cup. First time Cavalry's making an appearance in this tournament. That alone is a coup. But the first game did not go well. That was a 3-0 victory for Orlando. So, Cavalry will have to score a lot. Be sure to join us for that match on Tuesday right here on One Soccer. One more game to go in the group for Canada. That's against Costa Rica. We'll look ahead to that next when we return on One Soccer. Updated Group C standings. Canada 2-0 in this one, so looking good for them as they have the full 6 points, and they too have also gone +10, have not conceded a goal just yet. They are up 1 goal as well on the United States for the overall lead of the 8 teams that will be moving on to the knockout stage. Final group stage game will be against Costa Rica. We'll get you started at 5:30 p.m. Eastern right here on One Soccer. Costa Rica, of the 3 teams in their group, the only ones they've actually faced at the senior level. They faced them 15 times. Canada has beaten them all 15 times, and I think they've scored like 50-plus goals against them in those 15 games as well. Having said that, we love sport because we never truly know the ending. This is why we watch. But Canada, no doubt, is in the driver's seat here. It's hard to judge, truly judge, how Canada has been looking against El Salvador and Paraguay, teams they never faced at the senior level, teams that are not ranked anywhere near them, teams who are, especially for El Salvador, competing in their first international game or tournament, I should say. Paraguay, again, never really been to those big tournaments, never been to a Women's World Cup. Having said that, Canadians do what they needed to do. But if you're looking towards Costa Rica, who'll play later tonight against El Salvador, maybe what are some of the areas of Canada you're looking at that you would like to see them shore up?
Yeah, I think the left wing back position for me sticks out. I mean, Chloe Lacasse, we know that she's just one of those players that could play anywhere. Like I feel like she could slot in like a number 10 position and be competent. But maybe this is the game to give her a break. And I'm just thinking about that position overall for Bev Priestman. Is it Bianca St. George coming in? Is it Gabby Carl starting again from the beginning like she did in the first match? But that's probably the one position, Andy, where I feel this is a time to really push yourself and show Bev Priestman that you want to be a part of the madness. And the madness I'm talking about now, She Believes Cup, Olympics in the summer, where you want to put yourself and be like, hey, Bev, remember me? Like, I could do a role and not just come off the bench. So maybe that's an area for me going into the next match where those players that I just mentioned, that's their opportunity to really show what they're made of.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think the number 9 role is still pretty wide open with Nichelle Prince and her injury. I think right now, Deanne Rose did a good job today. I thought that her movement off the ball was good. She showed her pace and her strength. But I do think, a player like Evelyn Vienne can come in and potentially prove herself. There are a few players we've been talking about, Smith possibly slotting in there. Laracy came in later in the game. She did well when she was up there. So I think that number 9 role is also something we can look into and possibly see Bev try new combinations up front.
Yeah, reminder as well, she's really, trying people out on that left side because in camp, Sydney Collins broke her ankle. That's somebody who really was elevated in those 2 games against Jamaica to qualify for the Olympics. Jade Revere, we also know, left her game playing for Manchester United, so wasn't even able to report to camp. So typically players on the left dealing with some injuries here. Let's take a look at the bigger table in this Women's Gold Cup. So as mentioned, just 1 goal up on the United States for that overall lead. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer.
I know.
I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but Jessie Fleming did miss that PK. Could that end up being the difference? Because they're only up by 1 goal on the U.S. And so all the teams that move through, once again, they get reseeded. And for Canada, you want to avoid that tough competition right up until the final if you can.
You do, and you see at the end of the match, I saw as well when you're looking at Jessie Fleming. Of course, you're excited that you won 4-0, but also what you're going to think about is the penalty that you missed. And in this competition, there's a great chance that Canada might go into penalties again. And the last time you take one, this is what you're going to remember. So hopefully they can get another one. Jessie Fleming can put it down, smash that one home. But that might be a goal that, I don't want to say it. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but it could bite Canada.
You guys are both Debbie Downers right now. I don't know.
looks
You
that
both
way.
don't want to be, but
You did too.
I'm sorry, but here's the thing. I really hope she doesn't look at that and go, oh, I hope she looks at the Olympics and remembers that she could put one in right after the other, because it's just, you're so confident when Jessie Fleming steps up. So it's okay. You're allowed that one. That's okay. I'm going to end off by saying that's okay. Canada 2-0, looking good, 10 goals scored. Adriana Leon, 5 in the last 2. How fantastic has she been? And the young Olivia Smith making a case that she should be on that Olympic roster. Remember, 18-player roster only. It definitely shrinks from the last time in Tokyo. 4-0. Canada beats Paraguay here tonight. On behalf of everyone at One Soccer, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you for the final group stage game on Wednesday.